Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here today and talk about some technology. I realize that we haven't talked about technology for a very long time. And as you know, in my philosophy and how I take a look at any organization, I'm starting with people, which I think we spend a lot of time in understanding and getting the most out of people, teams, and what we have at our as an asset. But also we're looking at how can we improve the processes. And the last but not the least is also technology. And why technology is important is because it comes in this circle as the third, because it's supposed to be there to serve the people and the processes that were put in place. It's not there to drive how we make business, it's there to support whatever we agreed on and how we as a team understood that the technology, whatever we choose to be part of our daily activities, is going to be selected so it can support us. And why I say support is because it's very critical. Sometimes you see that you probably in some organizations where we have too many choices when it comes to technology, and it created a confusion. And sometimes what I found very interesting is when I visited, I worked with organizations that they've been through a merger, acquisition, and they discover that are coming from two different platforms. What it stands with IT, they can go over some not so much stressful situations to combine how we're going to authenticate ourselves and create our email systems. But when it comes to the preferences of how are we going to present and document, share and document our files or our whatever we're creating, right? It doesn't matter, PowerPoint presentations, any of those kind of documents is going to could create an issue when they're coming from two different platforms. And the two different major platforms that I'm talking about are Microsoft and Google. So when you come together and you want to work, you get to see pretty much the same thing that happens with somebody who loves the Apple laptop and their stuff, and then somebody says it's on the Microsoft, and they say I don't want on the Windows, and they say I don't want to. I prefer my Windows, or the other ones say you don't know how cool it is to be on Apple, right? And everybody's going to create an affinity to one of those platforms. It's the same thing happens with how are we very much engaged in the Microsoft Office, and we use all the tools, and at the same time we see that we have colleagues right now that are coming from a place where they utilize Google Docs and Google Platform, and now they love how Google it's creating their presentations, and they want to somehow combine. How are they going to give themselves feedback or support to a document when somebody doesn't even have access to the other part platform? And that can create a lot of friction. That can create a lot of disagreement and kind of like a power struggle for teams. And what I found to be very interesting and supportive in that scenario was the introduction of this tool, which is called Egnyte. So this tool, I posted a link there. It's my personal link there. It's a tool that I became an advocate for because it just solved such an important issue, especially when I was working with a company who had this constant battle. And their leadership could not come up and could not agree on let's everybody migrate to Microsoft Office, or let's migrate to Google. And they did not want to fight that battle. It was terrible. So what Egnyte offered, and I think it was brilliant that it's thinking about that, and somebody could create that solution, was not only that when you are on Egnyte, you are protecting your documents, and you could even see if somebody is sharing a document that is not supposed to have important information, that like Social Security, for example. It triggers alarms if you're trying to send some information that is sensitive or it's marked as such not to be shared. So it creates all kind of policies that I'm going to leave that for, because that's kind of like a high level, different kind of purpose that is very important. It's very specific, but it's not the one that I was thinking about to talk today. What I'm thinking about to talk to you about today is how you can upload a document in this Egnyte, and it's going to look very similar, like you have your OneDrive or like you have your Google. It's going to be very simple, very intuitive for you. So you're not going to have a struggle to understand how to upload this document there. But what it does, where the power resides in the fact that I can just upload my document in Google, from Google, and it's going to allow me to go in and all the time come up with my, pull up my Google account and just make changes to that document while this document is in Egnyte. And at the same time, somebody else who is in the same, I can share that document with somebody who would prefer to open it up with a Microsoft. Let's say it's a Word. So if I use that, and I can just use my platform and they could make the changes in Word, everybody's happy now. They don't struggle for how am I going to open this document, and my comments and my feedback, whatever changes I'm going to make to that document, Egnyte takes them from everybody, doesn't matter, regardless of what platform they're coming from, and it's going to incorporate them. And it's going to give us a trail, of course, for what was the version. It keeps up the saving, automatic saving, all this, all the changes, and is going to allow us even to have a conversation on the site with giving us hints or messages about texts, kind of like chats, about what changes did I make, or what's important that I would like for the other person who comes along to see. So they could be such a saver for people who are stressed out. They don't want to go to one place to another. They don't want to learn something new, necessary, and be challenged again. And it's going to really support and avoid the conflict that can exist and can be really, really annoying for both parts. So, and also, if you are in the IT department, you know how hard it is, and when you want to please everybody, and you can't, obviously, but you are doing your best to provide the tools that are very important for the team to run in the right way, because we are kind of past the time when we're sending emails with attachments. Because as soon as I send an email with attachment, that instance of a document, it's going to be, I cannot modify it anymore. But I can send you a link to say, this is where my document resides. And now I can make changes while you are probably not even reading my email yet. I can just figure out that I made a mistake, or I want to add something, or I got another idea. Then I can just go back in and I will make that change. When you come in and you see it, you're going to always get the fresh and the latest document. So that is very important to know. It also includes, because of all the documents, all those tools that I'm inclined to use and used in the past, and I'm coming from the knowledge management perspective, it has that search capability to identify or to tag certain documents. So whenever you're going to create a repository for future references, it's quite easy to find the documents, especially because their search is quite advanced, and it's going to not just look into your title. It's going to look inside the document. Remember, as I said, Egnyte holds that information, and now it can just give it to you in many ways and help you find it when you need it. That's what I want to say about Egnyte. I think it's a very cool tool. I think you should know about it, hear about it, look at it. It's for even a small business. It's not so expensive. It comes up with like $10 per per seat for a team. And I think you're going to find it very useful whenever you need to share documents, and even when you want to have documents that are shared only with certain people. You could actually just allow a person who's coming from a certain email, only them open up this document. And that's very important in nowadays, when the cybersecurity is such a big issue. It becomes more and more we're threatened with how our documents and how our information is shared and how it is stored. Where can we store it to be really safe and don't allow anybody to make more than we wanted to with it? So like any other repository, and that's why I think Egnyte is much better than other tools that I've seen there that are just hosting, like Google Drive or even Google or Google Drive, or even any other drives that exist, right, that are just holding the document but doesn't allow you to also communicate and collaborate on the same platform. So definitely a thumbs up for Egnyte. And I think if you're going to use it and look at it, you can get the free version. You're going to see how easy it is to take all your team in the same place and allow them, especially now when most of us are working virtually. Good. That's all I want to say today. I know it was a little bit different kind of a topic, but it's necessary. So I have one more tool that I'd like to present probably in the near future. And I am going to see you more often than just Tuesday, because I'm going to start a challenge in February, and I'm going to be every day with you for a couple of minutes. So until then, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.